Rakal, Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakat Kodash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan, and this will be titled E in the Hot Seat. Now, what you looking at right now is an Edomite. Wasted away is he. Verse Genesis chapter 25. Read up on it. Okay? He came out looking like not like the rest of the people. Wasted away is he. And what is he doing right now? He's got his feet on my belly. And I said it, my belly. I believe in reincarnation. I believe in the scriptures. And I believe that's me sitting on the ground. Hey, he's mine in the kingdom. Okay? Straight up. That's what I believe in. All right. So right now he's sitting comfortably. But look, hot seat. The position of a person who carries a full responsibility for something, including facing criticism or being answerable for decisions or actions. Okay? Yeah, you get what I'm going at? You're not going to escape this destiny, okay? You're not going to escape it. E. This is the book of Obadiah, starting at verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? Okay. How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Okay. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Okay? And who? In Edom. Who is leading these so-called self-proclaimed white people right now amongst the world? You would say the United Snakes of America is the head honcho. Who is the head honcho? Sleepy Biden. And you want to replace him with Dominic Trump. What's nuke a hurricane? Man, versus Weekend at Bernie's, okay? That's right, okay? Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, even destroy the wise man out of Edom? There is no wisdom. There is no wisdom in Edom, okay? Even in Russia, Putin, his warmonger crazy ass, he knows mad, mutual assured destruction, but he still went waiting to push that button because he said, if we go, we all got to go. So there's no wisdom. There's no coming together and talking it out. Nah. And understanding out the mount of Esau. Once again, this is a worldwide civil war amongst Egypt versus Egypt spiritually. Edom versus Edom. Okay. And thy mighty man, O Teman, your Germans, the same people, shall be dismayed to the ends that every one of the mount, the government, mount means government. It means your government of Esau. So you're looking at it happen right now, especially over here in spiritual Babylon where nobody gets along. Your so-called Democrats and Republicans. OK, the same thing going on back in the day in Rome. OK. All right. Now today it's coming to an end. That was the beginning. This is coming to an end. Okay. We was able to be deceived because that was the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Now he's exposing. These people don't even like each other. Okay. Now what's going on in Russia? Vladimir is fucking whacking anybody that breathe against him. That's his own people. Okay. So that's the mount, okay? Shall be dismayed to the ends that every one of the mount, the government of Esau, so-called self-proclaimed white people, may be cut off by slaughter. By slaughter. Now, who is creating this slaughter? First of all, the sword was given to Esau. Okay, so now he's using it on himself, not, along with the other nations, and mainly against you, Jake, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. Okay, and here it goes. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Ain't no way around it. Okay. You see this? You see this image? Nobody's gonna get away with this. This is our nation. Okay, and yes, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai allowed us to go through this through the curses, but at the end of the day, the curses are coming off. Okay, coming off of you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and the people responsible for doing this must pay. All right, once again, they must pay. Oh, and look, this is current day. So don't tell me that's the past. Don't hit me with that past shit, that past pretense. This is the same Edomite from then to the day. Look at that. I would have opened up the door, pulled him in, and beat his ass. But, that wasn't the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? This is the fair use copyright. 7107, fair use. 7107, fair use. I'm not selling any products. This is only for educational purposes, all right?
On Israel after US Vice President Kamala Harris called for a ceasefire in Gaza and rebuked the humanitarian catastrophe there. Opinions on the war are sharply divided in America, Israel's most important ally, a fact laid bare by the death of US Airman Aaron Bushnell last week. The 25-year-old set himself alight outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., shouting "Free Palestine" and declaring he would no longer be complicit in genocide. Well, presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West stirred up controversy by posting the following to X. Let us never forget the extraordinary courage and commitment of brother Aaron Bushnell, who died for truth and justice. I pray for his precious loved ones. Let us rededicate ourselves to genuine solidarity with Palestinians undergoing genocidal attacks in real time. Well, many Jewish commentators said Dr. West's comments encourage political violence by those opposed to Israel's existence. Well, joining me now to discuss this controversial post is the independent presidential candidate, Professor Cornel West. Cornel, great to see you. Thank you very much for coming back on Uncensored.
Always a blessing to be in conversation with you, my brother.
And the feeling is very mutual. Let me just ask you. Many people were pretty surprised by the tone of your tweet, not least the fact that you would categorize what Aaron Bushnell did as extraordinary courage and commitment. Many people think it was the act of somebody quite possibly very seriously mentally ill, taking his life in dramatic circumstances, and that was not necessarily consistent with being courageous or committed.
Well, one is that you think of Cato the Younger when he killed himself as the Roman Empire began to emerge and the Roman Republic was collapsing. And Cato's killing of himself has become one of the grand examples of moral courage and a willingness to bear witness as to something that he deeply opposed. Now, I think it's very interesting that so many of the people who were critical of me talking about the courage of my dear brother Aaron, that they don't understand the depths and scope of the suffering right now in Gaza. And too many of them actually are even indifferent to the genocide. They're indifferent to the ethnic cleansing. They're indifferent to the apartheid-like conditions. And so I can understand them saying, well, I am promoting violence by acknowledging the tremendous courage in engage in a moral witness in which you kill yourself as a way of calling attention not to yourself, but to suffering of precious Palestinians in Gaza. That's what Aaron was doing. In the same way Cato was doing the same thing when they saw Julius Caesar moving into the highest position, and it was clear that the republic was coming to a close and the empire was being established.
Okay, but let me
and there's a whole host of examples of people who bear witness by killing themselves.
let me ask you this then.
Suicide. No, that's not the point. It's
Right.
the cause that they're bearing witness to. And that's where my difference with so many of my deeply conservative and moderate Jewish brothers and sisters comes in. If they're indifferent to the suffering in Gaza, then it's going to be difficult for me to even have a conversation, because for me, it's a state of emergency. For me, we need that sense of urgency. These massacres are taking place before our very eyes. We ought to be on fire. We ought to be deeply concerned.
Let me ask you this. Would you have said the same thing if this airman had killed himself in this manner outside the Palestinian embassy in Washington, D.C., if there is one, or whatever the central location is for Palestinians in Washington, the day after October the 7th, and reversed it and said, I'm doing this in response to the horror committed by Hamas on Jewish people in Israel? Would you have felt the same way about what happened?
Oh, absolutely. Murder is murder, though, brother. That when you kill innocent people, when you kill civilians, those are crimes against humanity. Now, I have a larger indictment of Israeli apartheid. I have a larger indictment of the Israeli occupation of Palestinians. But anytime any organized group kills innocent people, especially innocent children, I will be in opposition. That's true for U.S. troops. That's true for British.
Now, hold on. Let's get some scriptures to back up that, okay? This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, starting at verse 2 or verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. What's that day? That day that you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanics get raised up out of the conditions, out of the curses that we're in. Okay, Yahweh Shah was telling this to the disciples. Okay, when he was on the scene, which goes back to over 2,000 years ago. All right, but we was already in the midst of this condition. Going back to the Maccabees, Alexander the Great, as Elder Malcolm McCollum. Okay. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. Who fell? Jacob, all the way out of understanding. See, back in the Maccabees, Jacob was going through these conditions, but they still had an identity. Nowadays, if you're not in the know, Yasharala, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics who are woke, you're still falling away. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm biggity black. I'm Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican. All of that shit is falling away. Okay? First, and that man of sin, that wicked man of sin be revealed. Is he not being revealed today? The people who called themselves holy, who said that they was the spiritual Babylon that we live in the United Snakes of America was built on the Bible. Ronald Reagan said that. Now they're being exposed, okay? Revealed. The son of perdition, okay? Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, or that is worshipped. Yeah, he did that. I brought that out earlier today. These other nations have their lowercase gods. They have their idols set up. He thinks he is the almighty creator. Okay? So that he as God, okay, the uppercase, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, sitteth in the temple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, saying himself that he is, I'm not even going to say that, okay? He is the creator. I'm going to put it like that. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, Yahweh Shai, okay? He is salvation. I told you these things, and he did, okay? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. What's that time? Blessed are our eyes to see this day. I don't care how much it hurt. I don't care how much it hurt, and it does. Okay, I don't care how many walls I want to punch. Blessed are my eyes to see this day. Okay, I'm gonna read that again. That's 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. That time is now. For the majesty, the mystery, Salakia, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, and it has been. Only he who now letteth, who is that? Yahweh Bashim al Shah, will let until he be taken out of the way. It's a movie, man. It's a movie. You never win. You don't want to pay for a boring ass movie. You want adventure. You want excitement. We just happen to be the people having to go through it. The earth. Okay? And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Hey, who's coming? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Not Santa Claus is a black man, but the Lord is what you refer to as a black man. Okay, a Judite. All right, and he's coming with that host, them warriors that look just like him. Okay, even him whose coming is after the works of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, not the truth, lying wonders. That's all he's good for, is making it up, because temporarily the earth is given into his hands. Job 9:24. Okay, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And that sounds like that's talking to you. Look, I'm gonna read that again. And with all deceivableness of the unrighteousness in them that perish. Now, who was these laws and statutes given to? You, Jake. So that sounds like you 2/3 right there, who went along to get along, TD Snakes and all the rest of the fakes. Okay, and even under the cloak of Yasharallah, IUIC. Okay, you are of your father, because thy received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Now, who can be saved? It is not the other nations. Okay, I know I got that point right.
Its troops. That's true for the IDF. That's true for Iranian troops. That's true for Chinese troops. That's true for Indian troops. Any organized army that kills innocent people, especially children, for me is murder. I'm morally consistent in that regard. And that therefore, if somebody kills themselves in order to call attention to the suffering of precious innocent people, especially precious innocent children, I am going to acknowledge that courage and say, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. And I don't mind being morally consistent and therefore having people thoroughly misunderstand me, because I do not look at the world through a narrow set of ideological lens. I try to stay in contact with the humanity of all innocent people and all children, no matter what color, Palestinian, Israeli, Ethiopian.
Now, hold on, brother. This is where I got to step back in. This is the book of Romans 9, starting at verse 11. For the children, being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh Bashim Shai, according to election, okay? Election. That's you 1/3 on this side of Yasharallah, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. But the whole nation is the election, but not on this side. Hey, we got to go over into the kingdom for that to happen. Might stand, not of works, because once again, it's his movie, but of him that calleth. Who is that? Yahweh by Hashem Shai. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So I brought this verse out because the brother Cornell was going to tell you that we're all equal. We're not all equal. The Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has set up a people to be above all the nations. It's you, Yasharala, so-called Israel, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, okay? Right now, we're not in the power seat because we're going through the curses that are temporary. Okay, we're going through Esau's blessing, the sword, the dew of heaven, which is temporary. Okay, heaven belongs to us. We got next, okay? So no, this is not a get along to get along situation. No, it's not that. And let me even skip down further. 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh of Egypt, even for this same purpose have I raised up thee. Who is raised up right now? Edom, the pale-faced man. Wasted away is he, that I may show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. He already did this when he led Yasharallah out of Egypt through the chariot, Hawashai, and through Moses. And we didn't fight our way out of there. We walked our way out of there against our army. Okay. So this is him setting his might up to show the world. All right. Now I'm a Hebrew hopscotch vocab Malone down to 20. Nay, but, oh man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it? And that's what they've been doing this whole time. Going against the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, being the opposing, bizarre world, opposition, Satan. That's what Satan means. Why hast thou made me thus? And of course he wants to say that he's made for nothing, but he's made for a small purpose, and then you throw it in the trash can. Okay, every nation has a blessing upon him, because in the kingdom they'll be here. He won't. After that 1,000 years, he's got to go. Okay, and in the kingdom he will be the less. Just like right now in his kingdom we're the least, he will be the least. Has not the potter the power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor? Who is that? Jacob. And another unto dishonor, Edom, who runs this world right now. What if Yahweh Bashim Yahushai willing to show his wrath, his peace, his love, his compassion, no, his wrath, and to make his power known, his Allah, his power known, endureth with much long suffering. This is, hold on. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai endureth with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted for destruction, fitted for joint custody, fitted for forgiveness, and we'll get along. No, it said fitted for destruction. You will be punished, Edom. Okay, it's that simple.
Being Guatemalan, I fundamentally believe that a Palestinian baby has the same value as an Israeli baby. The problem is, you and I know that if Palestinians were doing this to Israelis, Biden, Harris, Blinken, all of these folks who are enabling this genocide, enabling these crimes against humanity, they would have a very different view, because they're not morally consistent. They don't believe that a Palestinian life has the same value as an Israeli.
Well, I certainly do, but I certainly think that. I certainly do, but I also believe that the purest definition of genocide is Hamas's view of Jewish people in Israel. They want to get rid of all of them. They've made it very clear publicly since October the 7th that they want to commit that kind of atrocity again and again and again, and just get rid of all Jewish people in Israel. That actually is the purest definition of genocide, isn't it?
Well, genocide has to do with intent as well as execution.
Okay. This is the book of Salakia. This is the book of Psalms 73, verse 5. Psalm 73, starting at verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So what he just described to Paris Morgan was, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would these things be looked at? Would you be saying that everything's okay? No, because he is once again, Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He's running this place. Of course, he's not going to punish himself. So that's the response to what Cornell said. Well, what if it was on this foot? That's not the purpose. Let me keep going. All right. Therefore, pride compasses them about as chain. Pride. Have you been listening to any of Ben Nadajou's interviews? He's just set fast. Fuck what the United States said. They still gonna give me money. And then you got Biden eating ice cream. The genocide will be over when we feel like it. Basically, did it happen last weekend? No. That's when he said when he was eating on that fucking ice cream. You fucking bastards. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as chains. Violence covereth them as a garment. So Cornell, this whole I believe in an equal world, that's not, no. That's not going to happen. You have one rulership, a kingdom, and then you have another kingdom coming into power. And when they take rulership, you have to abide by their rules. Right now, the earth is given to this wicked man, Edom. So it is what it is, brother. Okay? But that's temporary. Like I said, we know who's coming to set the record straight. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, not Trump, not another leader, not definitely not that punk ass motherfucker Trudeau from Canada. These are not the leaders of the earth. These people cannot give us salvation. Only Yahweh Bashim Yahushua can do that. The water Abba. Okay?
Definition of genocide, isn't it?
Well, genocide has to do with intent as well as execution.
But you accept that Hamas are genocidal in their intent?
When Hamas was founded in 1988 as a response to a vicious Israeli occupation, they were wrong. They were calling for the forms of violent resistance that too often did include killing innocent folk, because, of course, innocent Palestinians had been killed for 75 years by the IDF and others. They did change their charter. There's been struggles within the Hamas itself, and the Palestinian people themselves are, how would you put it? The Palestinian people themselves are resisting with tremendous dignity, and Hamas has emerged as a major institutional vehicle, and that institutional vehicle, for me, does involve crimes against humanity when they kill innocent folk.
Well, they've emerged. I mean, look, let's be clear. Let's be clear. They've emerged as a terrorist organization committing acts of mass terrorism. I mean, that's what they are.
No, Hamas is a counter-terrorist group responding to the terrorism of the IDF and responding to the terrorism of the Israeli state. A counter-terrorist group can commit war crimes, brother, but they didn't initiate it at all. If they're founded in 1988, and the terrorism began in 1948 with the state of Israel, that's 40 whole years. Yeah, and let's keep in mind.
Yeah, I think it's
Let's get it. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, known as Sirach, chapter 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. What did he say? This started against the so-called Palestinians people, which is not Philistines. Okay, those are the Hamites. This is Palestinian, which is a mixture of Ishmael, okay, and some other diverse to mix together, Elam, okay, but mainly Ishmael. It's the, listen, oh boy, I'm gonna read this again. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And so basically what I'm trying to say, to sum this up, Edom is at the end because that's all they do is rob, steal, and kill. All right. And that's what this scripture says right here, just to back that brother up. Okay. Now, this is second Esdras, starting at 6. In verse 6, then I did consider these things, and they all were made through me alone. This is Yahweh, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. So remember, all the issues of life and death belong to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Once again, I'm going to say this clearly. This is a movie playing out. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Listen to that. The end of the first. Who is the first? Edom. Who is the beginning? Who is that followeth? Jacob. Okay. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, twins in Rebekah's womb, Jacob held first the heel of Esau. That's why they removed the Apocrypha for heat like this. This matches right up to Genesis 25, and you know it does. Okay, for Esau is the end of the world. What do you mean the world ends? It's over. No, the earth will never be over. The people will. This is the end of an eon, a time, a rulership. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, ain't no way around it. Not Moab, not Ham, not Japheth. Okay, and any other of the 17 nations in between. They don't have a part. It's our time. And they never seen it coming. All right.
Stretch to call them counter. I think it's a stretch with respect.
Undermine the PLO, undermine secular nationalism, promote fundamentalist Islam as a way of dividing Palestinians. That's why Netanyahu allowed for Gaza, allowed for Hamas to gain access to the money from Qatar and others.
Yeah, I agree.
To keep the Palestinians divided, and therefore not having to move to deal with the suffering.
Dr. West, there are many things that we would find agreement on about the way Palestinians have been treated for a very long time. It has been a completely unacceptable occupation.
Well,
it should not have dragged us. But the idea, hang on. Let me finish.
Vicious,
I know.
ugly.
Let me finish. But the idea that you categorize Hamas after October the 7th as counter-terrorists is ridiculous. They are terrorists, and they should be called what they are. Anyway,
but let me ask you this. Do you think the IDF is terrorists when they kill innocent Palestinians? Do you believe?
I think it depends.
Yes or no, my brother? Yes or no?
Well, okay, I would ask you this. If you were
yes or no?
No,
yes or no?
Hang on.
You're uncensored. You're uncensored,
yes,
my brother.
And I've been
yes
asked this question before. I have actually tweeted in 2014. I tweeted that what Israel was doing then was bordering on terrorism. I'm not afraid of using that analogy.
Bordering on terrorism.
Yeah, but hang on.
The children are being killed, brother.
Yes, of course. There were children killed on October the 7th. I have serious misgivings about what's happening currently in Gaza, like most people. But what I would say to you, if you were the head of the Israeli government on October the 7th, out of interest, what would your response have been to that horrendous terror attack?
Well, I'll tell you the answer to that question, but I don't know why you just can't say the IDF is terrorists, killing innocent people, bordering on it's wrong. No, why you're uncensored. You're a free man. Tell the truth from your soul, Lord.
Telling the truth.
Let me tell you what.
I want to hold this up right here. This is Psalms 137, starting at verse 7. Remember, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundations thereof. O daughter of Babylon, there it goes again. You can't escape it. That's talking about current times right now, who these so-called self-proclaimed white people who art to be destroyed. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay? Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Okay, so once again, this is not a equal thing. These people have done this for for more than we can account for. But right now, all of our lifetime, okay, they have to pay. All right.
What I would do if I was in Israel, I would end the occupation. I would end the siege. I was saying I'm committed to Palestinian dignity. I'm committed to Palestinian equality. And we Palestinians and Israelis, we Jews and Palestinians, we're going to learn how to live together in the context of equality and dignity. We're going to have Jewish safety. We're going to have Jewish security. That's the very end and aim of Israel. We'll never see an annihilation of Jews. We'll never see another massacre or Holocaust of Jews, but we'll never see annihilation and massacre and vicious attacks on Palestinians either. That's what I would do.
Well, on that, okay.
Now, I understand what he's trying to say, but what Cornell is not understanding, that's not the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, here we going back to the scriptures right away. See, what did he just say? If it was up to him, these people would be equal, that people will be equal, this people will be no. Let's read this 8 again. Psalms 137 and 8. O daughter of Babylon, okay, you Edomites who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Okay, that goes into him too. All right, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Now, why would Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua say that? What are the Ish people doing right now worldwide? But let's focus on Gaza. Fucking this shitting all over them, destroying this, carpet burning them. And it's all coming back to, for some reason, children, that there's more children populated in Gaza. I don't know if that's the truth or not, okay? But at the end of the day, it is a mass murder, and they're supposedly getting away with it until the Lord checks them, okay? So no, we're not here for everything to be fair and peaceful. No, we're here to reign, and we will have our day for eternity. Okay, this ain't no, I'm not cool with all of us getting along after the conditions that we had to endure. Fuck that. No, I want my time to shine. Fuck these people. All right. This is Psalms. I'm gonna back this up. 139. Hey, like I said, I'm just gonna use the scriptures to speak for me. Well, what do you think, brother? Hey, whatever the scriptures tell me. This is Psalms 139 and 20. Man, Psalms 139 and 20. Then this is King David, the temple that we building right now. If you are so-called African American, Native American, Hispanic, in the know. All right. If Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has put that Rakak Kodash on you, okay, that Holy Spirit, all right, separating you from the rest. 4. They speak against thee wickedly, and you're going to hear a lot of this coming up. Adawan Ratazah, we get that far. And thy enemies take thy name in vain always. Oh, you're going to get good examples of that. I maybe should have saved this for a little bit later, but it's all good. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that hate thee? They hate him. You earlier today, I just did the video, Trudeau, the Bible's got to be banned, our history book. Okay, the same book that they tried to take. Now they don't want it anymore because they know it has nothing to do with them. And am I not engrieved with those that raise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies, says King David. Now, if you feel some other way, you definitely not of the election. Let's just get that out the way. If you feel like, oh, we can make this, we can forgive them, or it's something else other than hating them, man, fuck you. Okay, that's all I gotta say. This is Proverbs 28 in verse 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Now, as this continues, if you have not noticed, all he's doing is cutting off. And you're going to see more examples of this when the next videos come up. That's all they do. They want to cut you off. They don't let you make your point. They got to talk over you. But then you sit silent and let them spill out all this mad lies. And then when it's your time to rebuttal, they, we're running out of time. Yeah, bitch. It's called the media. Witchcraft.
Head of Israel. That's what I'll do in the White House, brother. That's what I'll do in the White House. And I'll explain to American people why it is that Biden and Harris and others continue to enable this genocide. And then when they finally say ceasefire, they act like we ought to give them a moral prize or something after 30,000 precious people have already been killed.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot that you say that I agree with, just to be clear, okay?
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. I just want to read you what Ben Shapiro said about your tweet, though, about Aaron Bushnell. He said, our political environment is facilitating dangerous insanity. It is easy enough for people like Cornel West to celebrate the pseudo-heroism.
Keep it moving.
To debate all this is legal scholar and author of War Against the Jews, Professor Alan Dershowitz, and the leader of the Palestinian National Initiative, Mustafa Barghouti. Well, welcome to both of you. Alan Dershowitz, your response there to Dr. West, in particular, his categorization of Aaron Bushnell as a martyr for setting himself on fire and taking his own life in protest of what he said was the genocide of Palestinians in Gaza.
If anybody is going to be a martyr, they should take their lives in protest of Hamas using precious children as human shields, using a child as a human shield, putting a child, a hospital, a school, a mosque, over Hamas fighters and tunnels and other weapons that are used to kill precious Jewish children is the major reason why so many civilians, particularly so many children and women, have been killed. By the way, there is a lower ratio of civilians to combatants that have been killed in Gaza than in any modern warfare, according to even the Hamas statistics. And if you compare them to the number of combatants who have been killed, the ratio is approximately 1.5 to 1, which is much lower than the 3 or 4 to 1.
The problem with that analogy is that when you actually get into the statistics, and let's accept this is the Palestinian Health Authority, it's Hamas run, but the numbers have not been challenged as being wildly inaccurate by any other body. But
I'm accepting them for the moment. Yeah.
So more children have been killed as a percentage of civilian deaths than any other type of conflict of this nature in modern times. And the reason for that is that Gaza has 2 million people, of which 1 million, just over half, are under 18. So it's become de facto a slaughter of children. That's the problem.
Well, remember that Gaza, that Hamas, counts anybody under 19 as a child. Hamas recruits children between the ages of 13 and 19 to be terrorists. So
you
many
can't buy a beer.
Women,
Alan, you can't buy a beer in many American states if you're under 21. So the definition of what is a child,
But a 19-year-old is not a child. A 19-year-old with a gun pointed at an Israeli who was shot is not a child. A woman who was throwing a bomb at Israelis is not a child. Remember, too, that my dear friend Cornel also said that the terrorism by Israel started in 1948. In 1948, Israel was prepared to accept the two-state solution in a tiny little state, and they were attacked by all the Arab armies, and they fought in self-defense.
All right, I had enough of that dude talking. All right, I've had enough of him talking thus far. We'll get back to his bullshit, though, because that's all he doing is spilling bullshit. This is the book of Psalms 58, starting at verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Okay, they're separated from the womb. They're separated from the womb. You go left, I go right. And that's how it's going to be. They go astray. Astray goes actually into the loss of a relationship. It's not just losing direction. It was something that was there and now it's gone. Okay, so think about those love songs. All right, they go astray as soon as they be born. speaking lies. And that's exactly what Alan Dershowitz is. He's a fucking liar. Okay? Nothing else around it. Their poisons is like the poison of a serpent. That's what they are. They are like the deaf otter. They stoppeth her ear. Because listen, once I brought this out, every time the truth comes out, what do? They speak over it. But. But after the righteous man listen to you spill your madness, the person with the truth, speaking the truth at that moment, because he may not be a righteous man, just to tell the truth. Okay, so Salakia. But the person speaking the truth has to get shunned out, has to get toned down because of the wicked. All right. Once again, Job 9:24. Not on my time. You ain't gonna be coming with that truth on my time, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming ever so wisely. Okay, so Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has given us an example of these wicked ass people. Okay, and all we have to do is have sight to understand that that's who they are. Now, I'm also gonna go get this. This is the book of John 8:44. For ye are of your father, the devil. Now this verse was Yahweh Shai speaking to Yasharallah, to current day would be ICUI and Sakari and different camps like that. He was letting them know that you follow the example of Edom. The devil is the deceiver. But I'm using this verse to clearly call out Edom because they are of their father, Satan, okay, the deceiver. All right, so I want to make that clarification. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua was talking to you false prophets, but if he was talking to them, then who did he say their father was? The devil, the deceiver. So, okay, ye are your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer. That's what they are. Okay, from the beginning, and abhor not in the truth. There is no truth in them because there is no truth in him. Okay, I got jumped ahead of myself. I just wanted to say that. All right. When he speaketh a lie, he speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay, so if Yahweh Shai was talking to our people, who was he talking about? He was talking about the same people Job was. Okay, Job 9:24. All right, so let's get that point made right now. All right.
West revealed his bias against Israel by suggesting that Israel's terrorism began when it fought for its own independence. And essentially, he's calling for the end of Israel if he's saying that its illegitimacy started in 1948. And the idea that Israel is committing genocide when it has actually done everything in its power to minimize civilian casualties.
Gotta stop him again. Fucking liar, liar, pants on fire, bitch ass motherfucker. This is the book of, man. I don't have no tolerance for these people, man. 12. This is Genesis, Salakia. This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore, okay, Salakia, I jumped too far ahead, Salakia. Well, no, we can get it. All right. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwelleth in them. Woe to the inhabitations of the earth and of the sea. And it's happening right now. The sea is being poisoned. Whales are capsizing. Well, they're committing suicide. Animals are committing suicide to get out of these conditions. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. All right, come on, bro. And I think I wanted to say that, but hey, it came out when Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua wanted it to.
In the face of Hamas doing everything in its power to maximize civilian casualties, Israel should do more, and the United States should pressure Israel to do more. And Israel has done more. The number of civilians killed in the last month is far less than in previous months, because Israel is now in a position where it can take more refined action,
Okay.
more specific actions. Their criticism is valid, but calling Israel genocide, a word coined to describe the murder of 6 million.
Man, so apparently I was right on time, because look where I'm about to go grab right now. This is Job 13. You probably heard this before. If you in this truth, if you new to it, then pay attention. Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Alan Dorchowitz, you motherfucker, man. Can't wait to see the people who own you in the kingdom, bastard. For real. Just make it up as you go. Once again, I read that Revelations 12:12. Woe to this earth, because this bastard knows that his time is up. His time is up, okay? All right? Okay?
Innocent Jews in gas chambers is a form of Holocaust denial, and it's an absolute disgrace to use that term, genocide, against a country that's simply trying to defend itself from a recurrence of October
Simply trying
7th.
to
What
defend
Israel is
itself.
doing is what America has done, what Great Britain has done, what France has done, but only Israel is called genocide.
Okay, let me just play a clip before.
Okay, I'm going to repay what he just said, but he just named off all of these Edomite countries that have used the sword to get their way. He said, but only Israel. That's because we're at the end of this, bro. We're at the end. You look, the Lord it's time to pay the tab, okay? So I'm going to rewind that slightly.
From a recurrence of October
Okay.
7th. America has 6 million innocent Jews in gas chambers is a form of Holocaust denial, and it's an absolute disgrace to use that term, genocide, against a country that's simply trying to defend itself from a recurrence of October
Okay.
7th. What Israel is doing is what America has done, what Great Britain has done, what France has done, but only Israel is called genocide.
Okay, let me just play a clip before I come.
Okay, Morgan Ferry said, okay, let me get the scriptures to fuck him up. You bitch. I am not playing with you, bro. This is Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Okay, you are physicians of no value. Now he said that all these other countries got away with it. Why can't we? Let's go get the scripture. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and verse 2. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. The whole scriptures are for appointed time. You can never say these scriptures are past tense when it's the only book that tells you what's going to happen in the future in the right contents. Okay. But at the end, it shall speak, and it's speaking now, and not lie, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is not a liar. It's his story. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and it will not tarry. Boy, I feel sorry for you, E. Behold, his soul, whose soul? Edom, Alex Dorchris, one of his children, Alex. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay, it's upside down, but still lifted up. That's that pride, vanity. But the just shall live by his faith in who? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that safe tower. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. What's that wine? His policies, that draconian, that dragon speaking. Okay, make it up as we go, and it's going to be harsh on the people. Okay, he is a proud man. Who is that? Allen. Yeah, what about? I don't see nothing, but I don't see nothing going wrong, but what we want to happen. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, never, but gathereth unto him all nations. Was spiritual Babylon, the melting pot, okay? The gumbo, the big dish of gumbo, which we better know not to eat, okay? And heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting parable against him, and say, woe, destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laddeneth himself with thick clay. What's that thick clay? Debt. What's our debt? Trillions, 30 trillions. What did Biden just say? We paid off one out of 30 something. You fool. Man, I'm sending the goons to come get you tonight. Okay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be as booties unto them. Hey, I showed you the picture of the foot warmer. That's the condition they're going to be in on the bottom. Okay. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, destroyed many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of man's blood. That's what they're not. That's what they like. That, Esau ate that bloody meat, that pottage. Okay, they don't fear blood. They love the taste of it. And for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwelleth therein, woe to him that covereth an evil coverness to his house, Edom, that he may set his nest on high. That's what they've done. Look at the space station. Who owns all the space? Elon Musk, dude from Amazon. What founder of their nation? Okay, United States, Russia, all of these people who convening, thinking that they're out of space, if that's what they want to call it. They're up in the lower heavens. Who are they? Edom. Okay, along with maybe Moab too, but you never know. His leader may be Edom, for real, because the speckled birds. Okay, woe to him that covereth an evil coverness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. There's no such thing. He can't do it because it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to punish this man. Okay, to punish these people. So there's no escaping. All right.
Come to you, Mustafa Barghouti. A clip from Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States. This was overnight.
Given the immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire. For at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table.
So, Mustafa Barghouti.
Which is what is currently on the table.
So, Mustafa Barghouti, we'll come to what she said there about a call for a ceasefire, but in response to Alan Dershowitz, there's a real debate raging about whether what is happening in Gaza constitutes genocide. What is your view?
Well, I am not surprised at all, Mr. Morgan, that Mr. Dershowitz, your guest, is defending the murderous Israeli army because he's famous for defending murderers in American courts. I think he's used to that. He's even famous for defending sex traffickers like Epstein. And of course he will defend those who are committing genocide.
Can we get to the point instead of having ad hominems about
I have to say,
let me
Mr. Barghouti, I have to say,
let me answer.
Lawyers,
Hey, I gotta stop it right there. I'm even gonna rewind this a little bit. Matter of fact,
to do debate.
here, this here like this. Hear it over.
Which is what is currently on the table.
So, Mustafa Barghouti, we'll come to what she said there about a call for a ceasefire, but in response to Alan Dershowitz, there's a real debate raging about whether what is happening in Gaza constitutes genocide. What is your view?
Well, I am not surprised at all, Mr. Morgan, that Mr. Dershowitz, your guest, is defending the murderous Israeli army because he's famous for defending murderers in American courts. I think he's used to that. He's even famous for defending sex traffickers like Epstein. And of course he will defend those who are committing genocide.
Can we get to the point instead of having ad hominems about
I have to say,
Let me. All right, Alan, you want me to get to the point? Okay, you can't interrupt me like you was interrupting this guy. So let me get to the point. All right, the point is right here. Zechariah chapter 9:6. Here's your point. A bastard shall dwell in Astrup. Astrup is a city amongst, I want to say a capital city amongst Yasharella. So Israel. So we're not there, but the bastard is, okay? Those Ish people, the people that climb up out of New York sewers and then they don't get checked for climbing up out there. They try to fight the police and you ain't heard nothing else about it. Okay? Those people, all right? They dwell in our land, all right? And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Now, we know the Philistines are not the people living there today. Those are Palestinians. The Philistines are the Hamites, okay? So, all in all, it's the same territory, but it's not the same people. But back to this bastard. You're dwelling in our land, and he's going to check you for that, okay? So, yeah. He called out Allen right on. And so explain this to me. These righteous people, righteous people need lawyers to defend sins. Lawyer goes back to Loya, okay, which is Levi. All right. And Moses is a Levi. They were the judges. Now, amongst them, we had bad judges because, once again, the curses. But that's not their role. Okay, their role is to righteously divide from right from wrong. Moses wasn't a wicked lawyer. He was okay. He did everything by the arrangement of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So these people are demons. Okay, once again, and a bastard shall dwell in Astrup, which is in Yasharallah, Israel today. Okay, Alan Dershowitz, your people. Once again, E in the hot seat. You can't talk your way around this. All right. And by the way, Salakia, we're not done with that. Let's get the let's get the Bible comparisons, okay? Yeah. The NIV, a Mungler people will occupy Astruth, and I will put an end to the, I don't like how it cuts it off. All right, so we're going all the way down to the NLT. Foreigners will occupy the city of Astros, and I will destroy the pride of. Now, I got to go back up because Salakia. All right, here's the NIV. A Mungler people will occupy Astruth, and I will put an end to the. Now, let's get that definition. Mungler, right here. If you refer to a human as a mungler, because I guess that's a dog, I did look it up and it's a dog. So it's look, the slang. If you refer to a human, just like we call women bitches, a bitch is a female dog. If you refer to a human as a mungler, you are definitively making a prejudiced comment about the person's origins. In this use, it is considered an insult. Okay, definition of mungler. So who called them munglers? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So he made a prejudiced comment against them. I'm just reading it. That's who they are, and he can't be going off because he created them to be this way. Okay, this want you to keep up.
What is currently on
Defending sex traffickers like Epstein. And of course, he will defend those who are committing
Can
genocide.
we get to the point instead of
How
having
could
ad
you
hominems
not
about
look
I do
my
have to
career?
say,
The wicked flee when no one pursueth.
I have to say,
let me,
Mr. Barghouti, I have to say,
let me answer. Let me answer.
lawyers defend people who they often may personally have serious issues with. There's nothing unusual about a lawyer.
So once again, I have to ask a question. If you was the righteous people, who would need defending with a lawyer? I mean, if you was the, if you were not only righteous, but you ran this world in righteousness, what would you need to be defending? You wouldn't be defending the wicked. You would be persecuting. You would be judging them. So for any of these people to say, I defend the wicked, well, then it tells you who they are, the wicked.
I've defended Palestinians.
murderers,
I've defended
Ladies
terrorists. I have defended
let
people
me
from
finish
Hamas.
my
I've defended.
sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you can finish, but
really
if you're going to go at
destroyed
hold
your
on,
credibility.
shouldn't
if you're going to
be
attack him
defending
for
terrorists.
defending bad people, we're going to be here all night. So stick to the question.
I would even
think
defend
you. Should
you.
allow me
I
to
would
speak.
defend your
Don't
right
you
to
think
make
so?
the lies
Or-
that you've
or
said.
If you don't want
Yeah.
me to speak, can you shut up so that I can speak? Shut up, please. I want to say.
Right on. Hey, I'm with him. Shut the fuck up and let me get this verse. This is Isaiah. I'm with him. Shut the fuck up. I would defend you. I defend terrorists. I defend, yeah, I know you do because you're one. This is Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good. Alan Dortruis, once again, Epstein defender, Trump defender, okay? And good evil. All right, well, yeah, anybody want to stand up for their country, fuck them. All right, well, whatever. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. I've been saying this over and over. We are living in a mirror of Snow White. You know, Snow White being Yasharala put to sleep, and you know, Yahweh Shai is that prince, okay? And that witch is running us right now, you know? And look at the conditions of the earth due to that witch, you know, the wicked, all right? So once again, woe unto them that call evil good. Yeah, I would defend anybody. Okay. And good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. That's who you are, Edom, all right?
Say that what you see in Gaza now is an act of genocide because 12,000 children have been killed. And these are not 19 years old. These are 5, 6 years old and 3 years old and 2 years old. These are children, for God's sake. I am against the killing of 30 Israeli children, which happened on the 7th of October, because they are children and civilians. But nothing in the world could justify, because of the killing of 30 children, the killing of 12,000 other Palestinian children. That is unacceptable. You should look at the real figures. 30,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed, and 72,000 people have been injured by the Israeli murderous army. This is 4.5% of the population. Hold on. I did not interrupt you, so shut up and let me finish. 4.5% of the population of Gaza have been killed or injured. If that had happened in the United States of America, you would be talking about 12 million people killed or injured in 4 months of time. Is that acceptable? And mostly civilians, 70% are civilians. More than that, Israel is killing Palestinians not only with this terrible genocide, with their bombardment, they are killing Palestinians with starvation. This terrible siege, 50,000 pregnant women, Palestinian women, don't find a place to give birth in. 64,000 breastfeeding women cannot help their babies. And more than that, 700,000 people are now starving because Israel is preventing milk, flour, food to the population of Gaza City and the north of Gaza. And more than that, they shoot the Palestinian hungry people when they are trying to get some food.
Okay, Mr.
They shoot
Barghouti,
them
let me
and
ask
kill
you.
them like they did 2 days ago.
Mr. Barghouti,
by
let me ask you a question.
100 people and 860 others were injured. So my response to you, yes, this is genocide. These are 3 war crimes happening at the same time. Genocide, collective punishment, and ethnic cleansing. At the same time, 70% of all homes were destroyed. All universities were destroyed. 30 hospitals out of 36 hospitals were destroyed. 347 of my colleagues, medical doctors.
All right, Mr.
Okay, I think that right there is going to sum it up. I pray that this has been edifying. And this is what I'm going to leave this lesson with, this verse right here. Proverbs 1, starting at 15. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. With who? With the wicked, Edom, and the rest of the 17 nations. Okay? Refrain thy feet from their path, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Okay? All right? And I'm not going to describe that or anything. You do your research and get an understanding what 16 said. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Okay? But not for long, because Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah is going to put an end to that. I pray that this has been edifying. This is once again E in the hot seat. Shalom.